a sudden turn of events, Palestine has launched a war. In a sudden turn of events, Palestine has launched a war against Israel. In a world that seldom saw moments of peace, the day had dawned with an unsettling tension. The headline on every news outlet read, "Hamas rockets strike Israel. IDF declares war." On a quiet Saturday morning, the extremist Palestinian group, Hamas, launched a sudden and ferocious barrage of rockets towards Israel. The Israeli authorities reported a grim toll, at least 22 lives lost and hundreds injured in the wake of Hamas onslaught. Israel was quick to declare, "Hamas has made a grave mistake, waging war against us." The international community, including Germany and France, condemned these acts of terror. "For the sake of providing you with better service, we use cookies. For more information, please refer to our Data Protection Declaration." Meanwhile, on the other side of this conflict, Hamas military leader Mohammed Deif made a short but powerful announcement, initiating what he called the Al-Aqsa-led military operation. Its aim to put an end to what they perceived as Israel's acts of aggression. Deif declared, "We've had enough." This clash between Israel and the Islamic extremist military group, Hamas, had been recognized as a terrorist organization by countries like Germany, the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, the European Union, Jordan, and Egypt. However, China, Russia, Iran, Turkey, and some Arab nations continue to see Hamas as a resistance organization rather than a terrorist group. As the rockets rained down on Israeli cities, including the sound of sirens echoing in places like Tel Aviv, Israel's defense forces took a stand, declaring, "We will defend ourselves." The IDF announced its entry into a state of war on that fateful Saturday. Eyewitnesses reported that, in response to the attacks, Israeli warplanes targeted sites in Gaza. The Israeli military spokesperson confirmed these retaliatory strikes. During the rocket attacks, several Palestinian militants managed to breach Israeli territory, prompting the Israeli military to urge residents in the surrounding areas of Gaza to stay indoors. Streets bore witness to skirmishes as tensions escalated. In a move that underscored the gravity of the situation, Israel's Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant, approved the mobilization of reserve personnel. Nearly every Israeli who had previously served in the military found themselves called upon to reinforce the front lines during this emergency. Tragically, the attacks occurred during a time of celebration for Israel, as they marked the end of the Jewish holiday, Simchat Torah, a day dedicated to the reading of the Hebrew Bible. Initially, Magen David Adom, Israel's National Emergency Medical Service, reported a single casualty, a 60-year-old woman fatally wounded when a building near Gedera was hit. 15 others were injured, with 2 in critical condition. However, later reports painted a grimmer picture, revealing a higher death toll. According to the American news agency Associated Press, the Israeli National Rescue Agency stated that at least 22 people lost their lives in Hamas attack, with hundreds more injured. This marked one of the deadliest actions by Hamas in Israeli territory. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was expected to convene with top defense officials later in the day. A spokesperson announced that Netanyahu was on his way to Syria to conduct a security assessment with the leaders of the security agencies. Germany wasted no time in expressing its strong condemnation of the terrorist attacks from Gaza. France, the Czech Republic, Ukraine, and other nations also condemned the terrorist attacks. The European Union joined in the condemnation, calling for an immediate cessation of violence. In a late-night statement, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant declared, "Hamas committed a grave mistake this morning, waging war against the state of Israel." He further stated that the Israeli armed forces were engaging the enemy across various fronts. Prime Minister Netanyahu, in a video address, left no room for ambiguity, declaring, "Israeli citizens, we are now at war." This large-scale attack from Gaza took many by surprise, as tensions had escalated in recent days, particularly in the West Bank. for Palestinians had lost their lives in attacks or clashes with the Israeli military since Thursday. The security situation in the West Bank had been a long-standing concern. Israel had gained control of the West Bank and East Jerusalem in 1967, while Palestinians sought to establish an independent Palestinian state in these territories. According to United Nations statistics, over 2 million people were living in dire conditions in the Gaza Strip. In this tense moment, as the world watched, the fate of the region hung in the balance.